Hi there, welcome to another video for Junior Cert Higher Level Maths. We're going to continue with coordinate geometry of the line, and today we'll be looking at the equation of a line. The equation of a line is a formula for a given line that will tell us any point along the line. So once we know the equation, we can find any point. So it's very useful. Two things we need in order to be able to find the equation of a line. You need to know the slope of the line, and you need to know one point on that line. Once you have those two things, you can then make the general equation for any of the other points. I have an example here to find the equation of the line containing the points -2, 3, and 3, 1. Okay, so they tell us 2 points on the line, and in order to write the equation, we need to know the slope and 1 point. So we don't know the slope yet, so we need to use our slope formula with our 2 points in order to find that. Write out your formula for slope, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then you, just as before, you'll write out your 2 points and label them. So -2, 3 is my first point, and my second point is 3, 1. And label them x1, y1, x2, y2. And fill them into your slope formula. M equals 1 minus 3. Over x2 is 3 minus 2. Be careful with your two negatives coming together. M equals -2 over 3 plus 2. M equals -2 over 5. So that's the slope of the line. Now we know the slope, and we actually know 2 points on the line, but we only need one of them for the equation. We go to our log tables. This trusty page in log tables, and we already had slope, already had length of a line, already had midpoint. Now we're going to use the next equation, which is equation of PQ. There are two formulas for the equation of a line. The one on top is where we need the slope and a point that I've highlighted. So if you're finding the equation of the line, you need a point and the slope, so use the top one. And then in the bottom one, we're going to be looking at that a little bit later, where that's talking about the graph of the line and the information you can get from that. So we're going to use y minus y1 equals m bracket x minus x1. I already have that equation written out for us here. So what we need to do then is write down the information we know. So we know that the slope is going to be -2 over 5. And we know that one of the points is all we need. So I can pick either -2, 3 or 3, 1. I'm going to pick 3, 1 as my point. I label my point x1, y1. And now looking at the equation line formula, it has y minus y1 equals m bracket x minus x1. The first y does not have a number attached to it, so it's not like y1 or y2. So we do not fill in a point for that y value. That will remain as just y. y1 is a point on the line. So y1 we have labeled as 1. So y1 will be 1 equals m, our slope. Our slope is -2 over 5. X, there is no number attached to that x, so it's not a point. So it is going to be x minus x1. That is a point because it's x1. So that'll be replaced with 3. That's the value x1 has on our point. So notice how we only had 1 point and we subbed in both coordinates from that 1 point. We do not need a second point. Our equation of a line will have an x and a y in it at the end. Right. To do this then, we need to get rid of this fraction. So we don't want that fraction in there. So we are going to multiply the right hand side by 5, and we're going to multiply the left hand side by 5. 5 times y is 5y. 5 times -1 is -5 equals 5 times -2 over 5 will give us -2. And then because we've already multiplied this side by 5, all we do is get rid of that fraction. That's why we multiplied it. That 5 on the bottom of the fraction and the 5 we multiplied by cancel each other out. Multiply -2 into the bracket and we get -2x plus 6. and we're going to bring everything over to one side because at the end we want to get a positive x value. So instead of minus 2x, I would like to have 2x plus 5y minus 5 minus 6 equals 0. And then tidy it up, we'll have 2x plus 5y minus 11 equals 0. And this is the equation of our line. So it's a formula with an x and a y in it. That's what makes it a line, if it has an x and a y that can be filled in. Very useful to know the equation of a line. Why it's so useful? If I have lines in the form ax plus by plus c, so there's an x and a y in it. So here I have my x, here's an example of a line, and my y, there's my y, and then a is the number in front of the x, so in this case it's 3, b is the number in front of the y, so here it's -4, and c is the constant, we call it, so the number with no letter attached to it, so it's 8 in this question. What information we can get from that is we can very quickly find the slope. The slope is given as m equals minus a over b, where a is the number in front of the x and b is the number in front of the y. So we're going to get the slope of this line 3x minus 4y plus 8 equals 0 really fast. M equals minus a over b. So m equals minus a is 3 and b is -4. So that simplifies m is positive 3 over 4. That's the slope of the line. Okay, that's finding the equation of a line. Hope you found that useful.